Well, hi, and welcome to Virginia State University's Randolph Farm. Today we're going to be talking about squash, and we're talking about yellow squash, summer squash, and even zucchini. Now you look at this planting here, it looks really nice. They've done a good job here putting this together, and it can be a very good crop for you in the home garden. Squash is very productive and relatively easy to grow. And you know, squash has been around for a long time. In North America, it's one of the earliest food sources, along with corn and beans. Well, if you're going to plant squash in the home garden, you can direct seed, put seeds directly in the ground, and you can put 2 or 3 seeds per hole and put those holes about 18 to 24 inches apart. Now, if you're going to plant multiple rows of squash, you want those rows to be 3 to 4 feet apart. And what's going to happen in about 50 days or so, you'll get fruit, and that fruit will keep producing for a large portion of the summer. Now, there are a few problems that happen with squash. There's some insect problems and some disease problems. Beetles, vine borers will get into the crop. But one way you can combat that is to have succession planting. Plant things early and then continue maybe with staggered plantings. So you might not have to necessarily spray, but you could spray for insects, for example. But if you've got multiple plantings, you could just take out some of the plants that are being destroyed by insects. Now, as far as watering and fertilization, squash like a fair amount of water, and they'd like to have, like most vegetables, about an inch of water per week. And it's probably better to apply that water and let it have really go deep into the soil instead of just surface watering. With fertilization, you could put a nice amount of compost down. Or if you've got about 100 foot of row, you could put down some conventional fertilizer, 1 or 2 pounds of 10-10-10. That should be most of what you need for the growing season. So your plants are established, they're starting to produce fruit like these are here, and you're going to find that you're going to be very busy. These are very productive. You're probably going to be harvesting 2 to 3 times a week. You don't want these fruit to get too long, too big, because they become hard and aren't very tasty at that point. Most of these yellow summer squash varieties are going to get to be about 6 to 8 inches in length and maybe 1.5 inches to 2 inches in diameter. But always look at your seed pack or your catalog to find out when the proper time is to harvest that particular variety. One of the ways that you harvest is just simply cut about 1 inch above the top of the fruit where the stem is. And let's look at this one right here. If you just reach down here, we'll find the fruit and we'll make a cut right on the top about 1 inch along this stem here. There you go, a summer squash. Well, for more information about squash production, please contact your local county extension office and talk to a master gardener. From the Ground Up, I'm Chris Mullins. We'll see you next time.
From the Ground Up is presented with the generous advice and assistance of Virginia Cooperative Extension. Visit their website at ext.vt.edu.